welcome back to Model Magic, where we are in full steam. Steve, Barry helped me put the chassis, the pistons and valve gear together. Where do we go from here?
Right, the next step, Richard, is the smoke box.
Right.
This has to go on the front of the chassis, over top of the, what is the exhaust pipes.
Right.
And you make sure that the exhaust pipes are over.
Yeah. It's always just difficult finding the lead screw, isn't it? And the exhaust tubes are up in there.
That's right.
So got lovely plumes of steam coming out. Whoa, what is that?
That's the superheater. That's what's going to connect from the front of the boiler, well, the back of the boiler, and the steam will be transferred through there to the cylinders.
Right. Ah, the boiler. The boiler.
Yes, this is, you see, it's got the fittings already screwed in. Safety valve, very important matter.
I always tweak mine before I start a steam, but make sure they haven't jammed, you know.
Yeah.
And pressure gauge,
Pressure gauge, yeah, that's the pressure gauge. And that's the steam regulator with the regulator handle.
Lovely little handle, all the detail you've got cast in there. Yeah. Now this, I came up on Meth's boilers, but this isn't a Meth's fired, is it?
No, this is internal gas-fired boiler.
Yeah, so sophistication, isn't it, really?
It is, yeah. It's just got a centre flow tube there, which I shall now slip over the superheater.
So the superheater. So there's once the steam leaves the boiler, it's getting a sort of a second dose of heating as it goes.
That's right, yeah. That will run alongside the burner, which we'll be putting in a moment.
Right.
And as it passes the burner again, it'll be getting extra heat, keeping it on its way to its cylinder.
Right. Now, and the steam then is generated by... Do you know, I've never taken one of these to bits, but this is the actual burner, isn't it?
That's the burner, yes.
Right. And does that go in there?
It is, yeah. That will slide down there and attached by
two little screws.
Two little screws again. Just.
This is the tricky one again, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you've got to have a tank to supply this. Now, this is, what, propane?
No, butane.
Butane.
Yeah. That's the gas tank with the gas regulator.
Right.
That is already... This is the gas on and off tap.
Right. And this valve is the filler, so you can fill your tank. Yeah. And, of course, you can control the burn, can't you? How much steam you're generating.
Yeah, once you get up to steam, you can knock it down.
Tweak it down again,
and just get the amount of steam you require. So, again, the screws... there you go, through the chassis and screw into the base of the burner.
Right.
Right, we now come to the gas pipe, Richard, which connects the gas tank to the gas burner.
This is the bit that I find difficult because there's a pretty sort of awkward space. The pipe's bent.
It is, yeah. You bend the pipe. When putting it on, it's best to finger tighten it on, and then you're not going to strip the threads.
That always worries me, you know, stripping the threads.
Yeah.
What about a bit of tape or something there?
Yes, you can put a bit of hydraulic seal Loctite or a bit of PTFE tape onto the threads.
Right, and then afterwards you tweak it out when you're sure the threads are there.
Yeah, when you've got it nicely on, you can get the spanner.
Little spanner there. Correct.
More thread than I thought. There we go, and don't over-tighten it, but nip it up sufficiently.
Right.
And again, with the gas burner, just nip it up sufficiently so you do not bend anything. And finally, we have to join the regulator to the superheater.
Right.
Which will fit the lubricator.
Yeah. Now, these displacement lubricators, how does it exactly work?
It's a simplified system. And as the steam passes out the boiler through the lubricator, it cools slightly.
Right.
And as that turns back to water, water being heavier than the oil, it pushes the oil up, which then passes fuel down the other pipe and out along to the cylinders, which lubricates the cylinders as it's going backwards and forwards.
Well, this is the final stage construction of this loco. Do you know there's something like 500 bits to put together? And this is a loco side here. It's a brass plate and it's been etched with acid. Makes it quite simple to fold. You put that in the vise, you put a piece of wood either side, and then very carefully you bend that down. And so you can fold up the whole cab side. Harry's got one here that's prepared.
That's right, yep.
And if we put the two together, there they are. You can see where they go now. Can you assemble that onto the loco for me, please?
Yeah. I mean, this basically just slides straight down.
Right.
Over the top. Just pops into place like that.
Right, and there are screws to hold?
There are screws at the front and 2 nuts at the back, just to keep that safe.
Now, I believe it's this final detail, the little bits that actually make the engine come to life.
Yeah, yeah. There's quite a few bits to go on yet. First, we've got the handrails. I've already fitted most of these just through the handrail knobs.
I've got this on this side, yeah.
That's right. And they basically just slide through, and then they will just have a little dab of glue on either end just to stop it sliding in and out.
Right, so that's the handrails, yeah. It just changes the whole shape of the front.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And next we have the roof.
Yeah.
Which is there.
I like the shaping too. It's all very
pre-rolled. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
As you can see, I've just fitted the dummy whistle.
Right, lovely. And all those little rivets.
That's right. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's the rivet detail. And that basically just slides onto the body.
Yeah.
And there will be a screw there and a screw there, just to hold it, and that will be hinged to open and close.
You can get at the inside.
So I can get into it.
Excellent.
Right.
Doesn't she look absolutely beautiful? Now you've put all the bits on, she's really come to life. Is she finished?
She's almost finished. It's one last touch. That's the doll. It just slots on there.
One beautiful live steam locomotive. Wherever you are in the country, one factor remains constant, a tremendous enthusiasm for steam locomotives. I brought my new model, now beautifully painted, to the Withington Narrow Gauge Modelers Club, where I'm going to give her her first run. Here are locomotives of all shapes and sizes, from the smallest North Wales quarry engine to the much larger passenger hauling engines.
Mind the loco coming round.
How long did it take you to build the boiler? Or did you...
Well, the whole engine took me about 6 months.
6 months.
That's ex-drawing. The drawing was done first.
I mean, you've got all the controls of the real engine, haven't you, with the blower and the...
But these are necessary for an internally fired engine if one is using mess. Now, with gas, there's no need to have a blower because it generates its own draft and the pressure in the cylinders.
Steve, I don't want to be personal about this, but some people would say you've got a dirty, and look at your hands, grotty engine.
That's lovely, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Well, it shows it's lubricated for a start, doesn't it? It shows it's been looked after.
I would say so, it's been lubricated, yes.
But in that state, I mean, if you look even on the preserve lines, you never see them absolutely pristine. And I remember going to an model engineer exhibition and seeing 2 models. One was a Great Western Castle, which was absolutely ex-shops condition. Even the wheel rims were polished. And next to it, which only won 3rd prize, was another engine, and it was dirty. There was water runs on it. The crew sandwiches were stuck in the corner of their flask, and that looked a lot more alive. Yeah. And the same with these. You see some which have got nice chrome wheels, a nice shiny valve gear, and the bodywork's all polished up and the brass work's all shiny. But I don't think I ever saw them like that in real life. I mean, if you go back even to Victorian times when engines were highly polished, I mean, a day or so out on the road and they would be dirty.
Come on, Dick, what makes you a steam enthusiast?
Oh, gosh. Well, I suppose I never really lost interest in engines from train spotting days, like most people of my generation did. But I always wanted a Mamod traction engine, and when I heard that they'd made a steam locomotive,